How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Let's look at something. I know no one's in here. I said I wasn't going to be doing it, but I was able to catch up on some stuff. And yeah, I am hoping y'all can actually hear me. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure y'all can hear me. I'm not sure if anyone's even in here. Can you hear me, Leeser? How you doing, man? Okay, that's good. I was a little worried about it because I clicked on it to go live too fast. And yeah. Trying to close a few things that I got open here. Okay. Man, I've I've spent all day working on these projects. We had two projects for school due today. How you doing, Sizzle? And in different classes. One of them wasn't huge. I had to essentially do 2 pages in a PowerPoint. The other one was a ton of stuff, and I haven't worked on it a whole lot this week, and no one else had worked on it any. I had done two of the things out of five. No one else had done anything. Hmm. Finally got my Reese Oreos in. They were back ordered. Took them over a month to get here. How you doing, Pete? Sizzle, Leisure? Just in case I missed anybody. So, has anyone that needed it been able to catch any of the Home Depot sales on Milwaukee Forge batteries? So, for $300, let me see if I can pull it up. I'm still having problems seeing everything on Home Depot's page. It's weird. I can see it on my iPad, but I can't see it on everything else. Dang it. There we go. See, pretty good. It's cold, 23 degrees. Ooh, it is supposed to get cold here. First of all, we got snow forecasted. It is currently 34 degrees and 100% chance of snow. And it's supposed to get down to 25 degrees by 7 and then start warming back up. It's supposed to get up to 35 tomorrow here. It's just, yeah. Appreciate you coming, Ron. How you doing? Rob, how you doing? Yeah, like I told everybody else, I've been working on it since like 11:30. I had everything done except for 2 classes out of 5. It was a booger. But so there's a deal going on, and I don't know how much of a deal y'all think it is, but these Forge batteries can be roughly 180, 190 bucks each for the 6. But with this deal, let me see. I'm going to open it up in the screen here. This is just in my cart. So you buy this part, the starter kit with a 12 amp hour Forge battery. It's a rapid charger. And you get the other part. And you get an 8 amp hour battery free. But the way they split it up, it's not necessarily free. Let me remove this from my cart. So for me, it come out to $299 or $274. I should have bought it online because they don't give me the military discount in store, but they'll give it to me online. I don't understand why. I should take it back. I mean, because that's 25 bucks right there. But anyway, so it's a little bit of a savings if you buy that. They've also got a light that's pretty decent. There it was. This right here, $22.39. Well, it's $25.88. It's not a bad light. I'll be looking at it here in a bit. But yeah. Let's see. 27 here. Drove through the snow today. Whew. Out fishing this morning. I would love to be fishing, but I am not a fan of the cold. Local Home Depot gave military discounts in store. They do, but if it's a sale, you don't necessarily get it in store, which is weird. I don't know why I can get it online, but I can't get it in store. I don't know. Let's see. Tonight, we're going to get this Maker's Mark. It's a special blend, the Scenic Route. Y'all see the date there. I've had this bottle. It's another one I've had a while. And I didn't open it until June when I met with a bunch of friends. This thing was delicious. I mean, it's very good. Matter of fact, I wish I'd have bought more of these. Usually when I open a bottle like that and take it to these events, it's hit or miss. Whether it gets drank This one, yeah, you see, and I probably drank 6 ounces of it myself. But yeah, it's empty. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, that one's good. Tastes tastes a little different. I can't figure out what that is. So this is 108.4 proof. It's got a stay profile that's interesting. I don't know if so. It's 2 baked American pure oak, 3 seared French Civet oak, normal maker's mark, roasted French Mendiant, and toasted French spice. I don't know. That's the stay profile. But anyway, let's see what else. There was a couple of other things that I was thinking about. Dang, Sizzle. I keep forgetting that. I need to get in there and check that out. Also, the ratchet that what is his name? Jeff did a review on. Well, I'm buying one. Let's see how that does. Did you go to Harbor Freight and get your free deal today? So one of them was a bag of rags. So that's what I got as my free thing. And I got one of those magnets, one of those magnetic pads. What else? If you're not hitting it, make sure you're going to the Dark Gray Fridays from KC Tool. Here, I'll give you a link. Let's see. KC Tool. So there's some okay deals, not super great. Usually their featured will be the one that sells out the fastest. And their big featured one was a 3-piece EDC Knipex set. And they were all 7s or 5s. They were the 5.5 or 6 inch. So it was a high leverage diagonal plier, twin grip, slip joint, and pliers wrench. For $100, it was like $109. Wasn't a horrible deal. Wasn't like super great. It didn't make me want to buy it, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, that's it. That's what Dad got the rags, good throwaways. Yeah, they're pretty good throwaways. I mean, 50 rags for kind of free. I need to check this. Okay. Never mind. Waiting on someone to make changes to their things. See, I used the white cloth racks from Harbor Freight. They last longer than the blue tiles. I got the white ones. I didn't get the red ones. I haven't seen the blue ones. So Is anyone else's Harbor Freight always low stock on a bunch of the newer stuff, especially the pliers? Mine is. The pliers are ridiculous. None, like only a couple pairs of the icons are in there. The ratchets are okay. They finally had the new little 1/4 inch set in, but to me, it's not worth it. It's just, it's too much for what you get. There's nothing super special about it. I don't know what y'all feel about it, but I don't see no good reason to buy it. Even with a 20 or 25% discount, it's still over $50. I think I'd want to pay about $45 for it if I bought it. Let's see. Every time I can't ever find the new pliers or any release stuff. They're just now stocking Gen 2 ratchets. Yeah, always. Yeah, I got a washing machine at my shop. I want the magnetic mat, but out of stock. Mine was out of stock, and then when I went in Friday or yesterday, they were in Friday. It was Friday. They had a truck in Friday, and they were in stock. I think they had about 6 of them. So, but check them, make sure they're decent, because I've seen some reviews, and the first one the person bought, nothing stuck to it or barely stuck to it. And he went back and bought another one, and it was good. If you take the back side of the packaging, you can almost stick it to something. You can tell it's good and magnetic through the packaging. So shop, and we'll wash them from time to time. Everything turns red. You know, I started trying to wash my rags, and it didn't turn out right. It was so hard to get them clean. Maybe if I would have threw the ones away that like had grease on them, like were packed with grease or had a bunch of it, I probably should have threw them away and just kept the greasy ones, you know, the ones that had wiped off my hands or wiped off some stuff that were just good and dirty, but didn't have wads of axle grease or something on them. Maybe they would have turned out better. I have taken them to laundromat, but I usually run it twice anyways. I don't know. I don't know what y'all feel about that. It's probably a dick move to be putting them in the laundromat, but it is what it is. Michelle turned red when she has to wash the rags. You don't make her wash your rags, do you, Pete? Had a washing machine in the shop, perhaps. Don't need all the chemicals in the home washing machine. I agree. I would not put them in my home washing machine at all. That's just not, I don't think it would be very wise to do. I see I got 7 people in here. If you're just joining us, hope you're doing well. Go ahead and pop in there and say hey. Yeah, big reason I haven't done any videos this week, school. And the thing is, it's going to get worse from here through the end of the semester up until mid-December. I think I've got a test next week, maybe next week or the week after. And then I got, in the term test later on. I just got to the point when I wax the car, use the Harbor Freight microfibers and toss them. I I don't want to use the cheaper microfibers on my nice paint. I'm real funny about it. I try to use decent ones like stuff from what is it? Car. Uh, Real big brands. Let me see. Car wash. Chemical Guys. I'm a fan of Chemical Guys stuff. They're probably not any better than Jack's Wax or some of the others. And probably once I get through with all of the Chemical Guys stuff, I'll probably start using Jack's Wax. They've got a store in Louisville, and they go to the trade shows and stuff. So I'll probably start using them. They're all about the same price. Most of these car wash companies, for their formulas or their waxes and all that, they buy it probably from 3M or whatever and buy the products that are part of a mix them on their own, slap their label on it, maybe put some scent in it or whatever, and sell them. 3M sells their own, but they'll sell it to a company in bulk and let them put their own name on it. And that's what all of them do. I doubt very few of them have their own chemical plants where they, make the chemicals. But yeah, microfibers, I like their microfibers. I don't know how they do that. I'm sure they get them from some big supplier and have their name put on it or put their name on it or whatever. And I buy them by the bulk, and I've got a few. Like, if I drop them, I won't use them on my car. If I have to wash them, I'll use them for something else later or go over them real well. I've got some really nice ones that I've washed, turn out pretty well. And you got some cleaner that you can use to wash them with. And they're supposed to turn out pretty good. But I don't know. What do y'all do on that? How you doing, Michelle? We were just talking. I'm sure you heard us talking about, washing grease rags in the washing machine. Pete says it's cold there in Wisconsin. Okay. One in Wisconsin, one in Minnesota. I get it. So what kind of microfiber towels do y'all use? So Rob said he uses the Harbor Freight. What about y'all? When it comes to your car, cleaning your cars, which I don't know if I cleaned any car. Yeah, I cleaned one car this year. I took my son sort of made me take my Hyundai through the car wash when we went up to Detroit to the Henry Ford Museum. It was rough. It had bird poop all over it. It looked bad. 26 degrees. Ouch. He was embarrassed to be in it. a wash brush, and a bath towel. I understand that. It's not that bad to use that. Um, I mainly use the microfibers for waxing or whatever brand the local parts store sells. I've got some of those too. Uh, I've got a lot out there in the garage. I've got a drawer that's dedicated to towels, wash racks or rags. Just like I got 3 drawers dedicated to polishing and sanding, pads, discs, sandpaper, all of it. It's kind of ridiculous. I need to do a video on that, but it's a little ridiculous. It's, if y'all have seen it in my videos, it's that weird green, light green cabinet you see in the background that's about 6 foot tall. No, it's about 5 foot tall. It contains 3 or 4 of the drawers are dedicated to polishing and sanding. One drawer is dedicated to gloves and tie down stuff. I know they go together real well, right? One drawer is dedicated to like rags and stuff. And then I've got some tools, power tools, like some air tools in the bottom 2 drawers, air tools and stuff like that. And the bottom drawer has a box of used sandpaper, 2 boxes of used sandpaper, because I can't throw it away. I'm like, I might can use this for something, so I'm going to put it in this box down here. And I do use it, which is crazy. I don't know. Did any of y'all say stuff like that? Don't want to throw away used sandpaper because even though it might not be good for this, it'll be okay for this right here. Let's see. Hi, honey. I'm dog sitting. Okay. The snowing in Wisconsin today. Ugh. I don't know how bad the snow is here. I don't think it is. Hey, baby. How bad is the snow? It's supposed to be snowing. Sleet. It's sleeting just a little bit. It was snowing a little bit, but it's sleeting just a little bit. Use a leaf blower to do the drying. When I was 15, my job was to wash 7 grain hauling trucks with trailers. Ouch! I don't like washing my motorcycle. I can't imagine washing a truck. My son worked for about a month at a Blue Beacon, and they stopped scheduling him there because someone did something and he complained about it, and they just stopped scheduling him. So he would quit. Grain trucks are pretty big, but Blue Beacon, that's what they do. They wash trucks. Grain trucks are pretty big. I did that for 3 years. Oof. We use microfiber pads with squiggly things on it. They make them that fit on your hand, or one that is sponge top. Yep, I've got a couple of those, or I've got one. The wife's got one. I just try to pay real close attention, and if I think it's got any dirt in it whatsoever, I won't use it, because it'll scratch your paint up just like that. Mitt, wash mitt. Let's see. Don't throw anything until it's completely used up. Hey, that's me. And that shit's expensive. you want to get all the use out of it. I have got a roll of emery cloth that I got from Harbor Freight. So it's the about inch wide, sandpaper, except it's on a roll. I love using the stuff, but I won't throw it away. I'll tear it off and use some of it, but I won't throw it away. Let's see. It snowed here, but it doesn't stick. Who's mining, Pete, if you're in Wisconsin? It's nice for scrap if you need to knock off some burners. Yep. Don't keep a big stash, only what's reasonable. Well, I've got 2 boxes of different things, about like this. So about 4 or 5 inches tall, about 8 by 12, maybe 6 by 8, something like that. Hi, honey, was for Pete. Daisy is minding Pete. Every night after school until 11. Ooh, that's a rough job. One summer, Dad brought me in up at Case Tractor. He worked for them in Birmingham, and I did all of the dirty work there. So I mowed the grass, but I also cleaned all the tractors before he worked on them. Dad didn't like working on a nasty tractor, and you have a lot of coal mines and strip pits and strip mines there around Birmingham. So a lot of that stuff come in was just nasty, and he made me clean them before he would work on them. He was the only shop mechanic inside the shop. The rest were road mechanics. Let's see. Keep a big style every night. She'll eat him for a snack if he doesn't behave. Everything's expensive. Yeah. Went to the meat market, bought 2 about 1.5 inch thick New York strips. Those were $19 or $20 a pound. I forget, but I got that. A thing of pimento cheese, 2 pre-made hamburger patties, and 4 brats. And it was like 60 something bucks. I can remember when 25 bucks was our weekly grocery allowance for our home, for me, my wife, and our baby. Or that's all we had left after the bills were paid. So there was a lot of beans, but 60 something bucks for roughly 2 meals, maybe 3 meals. Worked at the same company till your mid-40s. Dang. People use paper towels if I don't get them dirty enough. Me too. If I don't have one dirty enough, this one, I got it out and I've been wiping stuff with it and wiping my mouth with it. It's stupid. I am just crazy. Grandmother will not throw away Ziploc bags, washes and reuses them. She says she is frugal. Dad says she's cheap. That was a little different, and here's why. For me, I'm afraid I won't get them clean enough, and stomach bugs suck. So I throw them away. Unless it's something, not food related, and it wasn't originally food related, then I'll use it to store, put stuff in. I've got a bag of them in one of these drawers of all different sizes. Because it's nice when I go on these motorcycle trips, if anything is in a bag outside of my motorcycle, I'll put put it in the Ziploc in there. And if I've got any liquids in my, like my toiletries and stuff like that, they will go in a Ziploc in my bag. So in case they pop open. And my wife started, when she would send me packages to Afghanistan or Iraq, she would put anything that could bust open in that, because during my second tour, we had a can of herring steaks, sardines, pop open and destroy everything in my bag. I had a pair of tennis shoes in there, just all kind of stuff in this box. It was nasty by the time it got to me. So after that, she started putting everything that could pop open that was liquid in a Ziploc bag. Let's see. Save paper towels. If I just use them, dry my hands. Yeah. Grandmother does that. She's 90 and almost blind, so I'll make sure if I need a Ziploc bag, use my drink straws, and Michelle hates that I do that. You know, I don't do that, but I don't drink out of a straw. And here, unless I am driving and it's a drink that require, you know, that like you get from a restaurant or something, because I want to make sure I keep the lid on it so I can drink out of it. But my thing is, I don't want to be sucking at any cylindrical things. My boys are the same way now. I taught them that when they were younger, and they do the same thing now. Throw away Ziploc bags. Certain things are okay to reuse depending on what it's being used for. Was that oh no for my straw story, Michelle? I don't take chances with food-related containers. Me neither, at all. I will wash my Chinese food containers, but they can get clean. You know, I'll put them in the dishwasher. You know, it's a sippy cup. Let's admit it. Oh man. Yeah. I have some weird little things that I do or don't do like that. But yeah, a kitty cup would come in handy for me. But it's not like I only stop at fast food restaurants when I'm traveling, or every now and then at home. But a lot of times I'll bring it home. But yeah, it's kind of rare, so I don't do that a whole lot. Let's see, what else do I save? That's kind of weird. We do boxes, and I save packing material. And the reason I save packing material is because, you know, I've got this thing that I might be shipping out a whole lot of stuff, and I'll never have packing material when I need it. So, yeah, we save boxes, but we don't. It's more like we don't do our recycling runs as often as we should. But around Christmas, we do save boxes a pretty decent amount. It's ridiculous. Oh, here's another thing that y'all probably may not have thought of. I saved styrofoam. Now, my garage that's attached to my house doesn't have insulation. So I save that styrofoam and I throw it up in there, and eventually I'm going to spread it out up there, and it'll save it like I can blow in some the blow-in insulation. I won't need as much because I've already got a layer of styrofoam down there, so it'll take up some of the room. Y'all tell me what you think about that. We also saved the when we pulled up the floors, we saved the foam, the backing pad, and that's part of the insulation in my wife's she shed. We've still got to put some up, but I've pretty much decided I'm going to put insulation up in there as well because I want it to be warm for her. But I need to do that. I need to try to get something done out there this week. Not completely changing subjects, but while my mind is on it, I poured a pad out there for her heat pump. I got her one of these little mini splits. And it was concrete I had in my little barn like deal. It's been in there a couple of years. I guess it soaked up moisture. And yeah, it was a little hard, but it broke apart pretty easy. But when I mixed it up and poured the concrete, it will not harden. So it's just crumbling apart. And that was a week ago. So I'm going to have to redo that, which sucks because my back was killing me for like 3 or 4 days after that. I did it last weekend, I think. I can't remember. But anyway, what do y'all save that's a little weird? You know, maybe that other people won't, you know, other than I save nuts and bolts and all that. I am the dad that has, but I don't have them in jars. I just have them in big cabinets because I was able to salvage some cabinets that someone threw in the scrap pile. Sippy cup full of bourbon will be good. Yes, that will be good. But I've had all my bourbon for today. I don't know what that was. What was that? About 1.5 ounces? 2 ounces? I don't even know what size these glasses are. Maybe about that much. I don't know. Pull tabs from soda and beer cans. Do you do that because there's places that you turn it into them and they turn them in for money or something for cancer or something like that, or you do it for just because you're saving them? How you doing, Walter? I saved the beer and pop can tabs, putting them in a container. Donate them to American Legion. They turn them in for donations. Yeah, I know there's some of that going around. I just don't know. I've heard about it. Didn't know whether for sure it was still doing. Save used soft plastic lures to remelt. I didn't know you could do that. Sippy cup full of Jägermeister would taste good. Oh, God almighty. Jägermeister is nasty. Jägermeister is nasty. Nasty. We have a friend, and she was pushing Jägermeister Jello shots on us one year. And it was just, oh, God. If you want to give me something to make me puke, that's it right there. Jägermeister. Meister. Used to do that. Now we crush the whole can, turn them in for money for scrap. I've got bags of cans that my wife wishes I would take off. I just thought of it. But here's my latest one. There's 2. latest deals, and I don't know for sure what I'm going to do with it. Pill bottles. And the silicone packets inside. Now, I'll tell you, I've got bigger ones that I throw them in my gun safe. But I have 7 prescriptions, okay? And I know that sucks. It's a lot. I don't like taking medicine at all. And all of these, no, I've got 9 prescriptions. All of these it was a point where I was like, I've got to. I don't have a choice. I will not take a narcotic or something that, I have to take, if I don't take my allergy pill, a daily allergy pill, I can't function. Even with it, I sneeze like crazy after I eat, stuff like that. Yeah, I've got a lot. And it's so many that I'm like, I might can use these. But anyway, we get 10 cents a can. Wow. I've probably got enough to pay for a trip out there. Dang, that's awesome. Pete, I forgot to bring my bottle of Jaeger at home. Make sure you save me some. Oh, Lord, y'all. Oh, man. Oh. I've got another friend. He inoculates us. What is the alcohol used to be made with wormwood? A real famous artist is on the bottle of one of these. Someone put it on there. Y'all know what it is. But it's the nastiest stuff. But he'll make us all gather around, pour shots. And he's like, y'all getting inoculated. You'll never get sick if you take this. Oh, man, it's so nasty. Drain all the 5-quart jugs at the shop. Save oil for my oiling can. Oiling can. I would say it's been a few gallons over the last couple of years. I use them to store waste oil in for when I need it later. I mix Jaeger and Dr. Pepper. Pill bottles are great for sewing needles or make a small sewing kit for travel in your car. That's pretty decent. See, know a couple of people that mix different liquors together in a 2.5 gallon gas can that is clean, never used for gas. They take it down for a tubing trip, sharing it. Awesome. Absinthe, you got it. You got it, Rob. Absinthe. Ooh. I don't think it's been legal in America until about 10, 15 years ago. It was illegal before that. Have a Jaeger machine. It's just like a Beer Meister, but for Jaeger. Let's see. Jameson Triple is pretty good and neat. I drink 90% of the alcohol I drink is straight. I got this thing in my head long time ago, and I guess it was when I was younger, and it was like you're a wimp if you drink mixed drinks. It isn't the same anymore. But I enjoy the taste of bourbon, so I drink it straight. I don't like to put ice in it if I don't have to. I don't like to put water in it if I don't have to. and I don't like to mix it at all. I do like a good old fashioned, but I don't like ruining a good whiskey mixing it. If it isn't a great whiskey, but as good as a mixer, that's different. But my what it, the other 10% though would be like margaritas, and I'm allowed to drink margaritas and the other kind of a margarita and something else, umbrella drink. I'm allowed to drink them in a Mexican restaurant, or we'll eat Mexican food, or on the beach. Those are, I know, it's crazy, but I'm allowed to drink those in those three circumstances. Margaritas, I forget them. Now, margaritas, I'm not a big tequila fan. I can't drink it straight. Salt and lime. I can't drink it like that, but I can drink it, in a margarita or whatever the other drink is that you put it in. I don't know if I've ever drank a martini. But that's about it. Of course, I like my IPAs for beer. They've got to where bourbon gives me indigestion, an IPA gives me, it hurts real bad indigestion. I don't drink a whole lot of any other liquors anymore. Like, every now and then I'll do a scotch, but it's rare. Yeah. If I'm in an Irish pub, I'll drink Irish whiskey, so on and so forth. See, you love margaritas, martinis. Pete and I made a drink and named it Vodka Pete. It's a great summer drink. That's awesome. Margarita. I'm getting a text from another person's got to finish our group project. We got one person. So if you went to college and you had these group projects, you have to depend on the other people in your group. And we were forced to be in this group, right? Well, there's one person that hardly ever responds until last minute. And I'm kind of last minute, but I'm not. I will respond. And then the other problem I'm having with all the groups I'm in is we don't delegate. We don't say, okay, you do this, I do this, you do this. Instead, we hem-haw around until, it's late and we're struggling to get stuff finished. So that sucks. But yeah, I like my Vodka Pete's. So what's in the Vodka Pete? Now that you've talked about it, what's in the Vodka Pete? Let's see. It's always the one. If a team depends on me, I don't procrastinate. If it was a solo project, I'd kick my feet up. Yeah, that's me. I don't want to let anyone down. This week was rough though. This week I struggled to focus. I struggled to get anything done. And this would have been the week that I could have got a lot done if I didn't have so much of a problem. Let's see. I agree, like a good something bourbon and whiskey straight up. Vodka, 7-Up, and Tahitian treat. I don't know what Tahitian treat is. Let me look it up. I guess it's a Coke drink. Like a canned drink or something. I think so. I think it's red. Tahitian treat. Yep. It's a fruit punch. Okay. I thought that's what it was. I wasn't completely positive. I've seen it, but I don't think it's super popular here. My autocorrect is messing up. Brandy. Okay. I haven't tried a good brandy yet. And I haven't had a good what is it? It's made in France. It's a liquor. If it's anywhere else, it can't be called that. Cognac. I've had one cognac, and I didn't care. I didn't care for it, but that doesn't mean it was a good one. It was a product of Sazerac. So, and it was an expensive shot. I got it while I was down in New Orleans. Me and the wife went down there this weekend 2 or 3 years ago. We had to go down to Birmingham to get on a train, and we rode the train down there. You know, a different experience. I wish the train was closer to us, but we have to either go to Illinois, Chicago, or Birmingham to jump on the train. Nashville doesn't. I don't think Nashville has a stop. Pretty sure Nashville. We can't get to New Orleans easily from Nashville. So, but I wish we could hop a train from here. The other issue going to the other states is parking. You know, where do we store our vehicle? And in Birmingham, we were able to leave it at my mom and dad's, you know. Spelled it wrong. Geez, my autocorrect has messed me up. It's carbonated fruit punch. I drink a tall Jim Beam and Coke. Jim Beam and cola mixed together, usually have a couple of them. A lot of people like that. A lot of people like Jack and Coke. It's one of those drinks that is a hit or miss for me. Or not hit or miss. I could care less. If I have one, If I don't, but Jim Beam and regular Jack are most definitely mixers for me. Talking about apple pie, I've got some real apple pie here. I've also got some other stuff here. One of them, I put the charred spires, little corkscrew looking things that are charred. I put one of them down in some homemade beverage, and it's okay. And then I've got some straight. What else? I've done something else for some. And then I've got some store-bought, stuff like cherries. I've also got some moon pie moonshine. I didn't really like it though. It was a special thing made by this distillery that was owned by a Beam actual person with the last name Bean, one of the relatives of, late great Jim Beam. They have a distillery because they don't own Jim Beam anymore, but they had a distillery. I forget what it is. I'm pretty sure they sold it for millions of dollars here right around 21 or 22 when bourbons, went through the roof. Man, they owned Yellowstone brand rye and bourbon. They owned that. They owned a few other things. So, yeah. Dad has a bottle of apple pie moonshine from Arkansas, never opened. Mine, I haven't opened mine either. And the reason being is the person that gave it to me, I just don't know him that well. And I'm funny about drinking things from people I don't know that well. You never know, some of the other homemade beverages that I have, I got them from someone who knows the person really well and was a regular customer. So I drink it. I remember one day I had some of that, and this was years and years and years ago. I had some of that, and I did a road march. So, 50-something pound backpack, had to do 12 miles, full gear, and you had to do it within a certain amount of time, 4 hours or 3.5 hours or something like that. And I did it like 2.5 hours, run at least half of it. And we were given the rest of the day off after that. And of course, I was hurting. I was in my 30s at this time, mid 30s, somewhere around there. So I went home, drunk a beer, had a shot of that, was out. Rest of the day, I was good. I snored, got some good rest. And that's what it's really good for. Love 151 cherries. 151, Moonshine 151 or Bacardi 151. Love anything cherry. Mountain Dew Code Red and tequila. That sounds like a good hangover. Total Wine was giving out free samples of cognac from $100 bottles. Was good, not worth it. I understand. I'm not so sure about cognac. I don't know. It would be one of those things I'd need to try more of it. And it's just too expensive to experiment with. Luckily, my experimenting with bourbon, I've got a taste for it before it took off. So I started my bourbon journey in 16, and that was before it really took off. You could still actually find Pappy in stores for a somewhat reasonable price. It was still more expensive than, what it's supposed to retail for, but still, yeah. I also have some homemade beverage that's made up as, I want to say this right, a tincture. In other words, it's got different roots and stuff in it. It's supposed to be healthy for you. It's got ginseng and ginger and what is it that's in the Indian food that tastes like dirt, but it's actually good for you. You also take it. You can take it in pill form, and they put pepper with it because it helps your body digest it. Yeah, that. It's got that in it. No, not curry. Turmeric. I was thinking of curry was what I was explaining, but turmeric is what I was thinking of, which is also in a lot of Indian food. So I've got some of that, but I also took some homemade beverage and bought vanilla beans and made homemade vanilla extract. And we've got a bottle still. I've also got homemade cinnamon extract out of that batch. And then I mixed some stuff, mixed vanilla and cinnamon to see how that was. And it really isn't right. The wife, she mistook that one or a cinnamon one for the full vanilla. And I think she baked a cake or some cookies and they didn't turn out right. And I asked her what she used and she showed me. And yeah, we figured out. So I've got the vanilla separated for now because it's dark. It's really, really, really dark. And it's just hard to see. The vanilla has the vanilla bean sticking up out of the dark part of it now. And the way I did it, so I took it and I put the homemade beverage in there with the stuff and I put it in a pot and I turned it on as low as I could turn a pot of water. I turned it on as low as I could set it, so I didn't want to evaporate the alcohol. I didn't want to evaporate anything. I just wanted to heat it up so that it'll start, breaking that vanilla down and getting it in there, getting inside everything. So, all those molecules swell up and get in there with everything. Same with the others. And it worked great. It aged it pretty quick, and then I let it sit for 6 months. But now it's all been sitting for, it's all of it's at least 3 to 4 years old now or more. My oldest son got me that. And it took me till last year or year before last to finally get it in a decent frame. That will go up in my man cave if I ever get it built. But thank you. Some of this stuff back here is Hobby Lobby. That picture, of gas pumps, the Ford sign, the Harley Davidson sign, and the Ford thermometer are all Hobby Lobby. The Snap-on, my brother gave it to me. He got it off the Snap-on man gave it to him because he spends a crap load of money there. And the poster, my dad ran it. He went to the Big Daddy Don Garlett's museum. I think it's in Ocala, Florida. Or no, that's not Gainesville. It's either Gainesville or Ocala. But there's a museum of drag racing down there. And Big Daddy happened to be there. It's his. His home is right there. And it just happened to be in the museum. And Dad got that signed for me, which is awesome. And it took me forever to finally get it in the frame. As you can see, I think it got wet or something. Yeah. I have got a lot of that stuff. This wall that you can't see is 90% military. It would be going away presents, coins, just all kind of different little deals. And it's a lot. It's that wall is just full of stuff. Yeah, and all of my walls are somewhat different themed. This one's going to be bourbon. This one's got memorabilia from essentially trips, motorcycle adventure, stuff like that. But it's also I'm gonna separate. I'm gonna have some of my professional stuff, like I'm gonna have my degrees up here, and I'm gonna build some shelves over here in this corner that's gonna have just stuff in it. But yeah, that was a long rant. 50-50 mix apple schnapps and butterscotch schnapps. Sounds interesting. I haven't had schnapps since I was 19. I got real sick one night after drinking a candy cane full of different alcohols, and it had a bunch of schnapps, different schnapps, and it had gin in there. And the whole Christmas tree deal, I will not drink gin anymore. I didn't really care for it then, but I was 19 and the whole goal was to drink, and get drunk. In all reality, I should have found good schnapps while I was stationed over in Belgium and went over into Germany and Austria and found good schnapps. But I didn't eat, it's not something I thought about then. I didn't drink a ton while I was there, but when I did drink, it was mainly beer, and it was different Belgian beers. I got really acquainted with Belgian beers, especially different towns. They have their own brewery and have their own different beer. That was cool. Dad remembers peppermint schnapps. I remember it all too well. Apple pucker. I don't know that I've had that. I know about it, but I don't know that I've had it. That's really cool. That's awesome. I have a Milwaukee Iron T-shirt signed by the owner. My parents got me, made it out to me. That's awesome. That's awesome. I get the only T-shirts I'm allowing myself to buy now, because I've got a ton, are event T-shirts, i.e. Sturgis, Daytona, whatever, and concert tees. My first trip leaving Daytona, I got to, not Daytona, Sturgis. I got to Wall, South Dakota. If you've heard of Wall, you know what I'm talking about. It's a place in South Dakota. Once you reach a certain point going towards it, a few 200-300 miles away, you'll start seeing signs about Wall Drug. I went in there and, had to experience it. But on my way out, there were some Harley Davidson sponsored racers, and they had their Milwaukee Boys T-shirt that they gave me. I ended up losing it. I left it in a buddy's travel trailer. He let me stay there when I was in Daytona a few years ago. And his wife wears it now. Awesome shirt. It was awesome to have. But yeah, I don't have it no more. So that sucks. See, called a caramel apple. That's interesting. And then Michelle. It's been a while. Used to make large glasses of it. Root beer barrels. I'll have to try it. Let me go. Might have missed. Oh, okay. 50-50 mixed apple schnapps. Okay. I was trying to figure out what, I lost the conversation there a little bit. I have got a ton of memorabilia. I've got other signed stuff. I've got some stuff signed by the Street Outlaws, the drag racing guys. Other things that are cool. That's my coolest. Bar none, that's my coolest. I've got some Stevie Ray Vaughan memorabilia. Big Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. I've got a lot. I don't have enough room to put it all. I thought when I did this room, I was going to be able to fit a lot of it in here. No. I've got a rug. So if you've ever watched the Band of Brothers, well, that unit was 506th Infantry Regiment, Currahee. So 2 times in my life, I've been a part of that unit. For a year while I was in Korea, I was attached to them. I was in charge of a group of truck drivers, and we'd have 5 trucks, and we would live up there with them. And our whole mission was to augment them, to move them south in case North Korea invaded. So I spent time with Currahee then. And then when I got to Fort Campbell in 2007, I was in the 506th Infantry Regiment. And at that time, they were a whole brigade. In Korea, they were only a battalion. So they were a whole brigade again, a whole regiment. And I've got a lot of memorabilia from that. Stuff with the spade on it. But I've got one of the things that I love, I'm super happy with. It's a rug. It looks like a tapestry. And it's got the symbol on it. And it's I can't show you that because it's too big and I don't know where it's at. But it's a pair of dice symbol. 2 dice, and it's 5. 1 dice is on 5, 1 dice is on 6. And then it's got like a circle around it, and that's 506. But part of the circle is the top of a parachute, and the bottom of it is the risers. I don't have a coin. Here's something. Here's something that's similar to this. They have took this symbol and made it their own. It's hard to see it, but it's something like that part in the middle here. The 2 dice. It's real hard to see, I know. Anyway, and then it's got the other symbols for the Currahee, this is the unit crest right here. And the spade is another symbol that they use. So it's got all the, and it's pretty. It's a real nice rug. And before I got married, it was hanging above my bed. So it would take up at least another foot wide and at least 3 or 4 foot down of this wall. But I had it hanging above my bed before I got married. And it took a couple of years of us being together before I pulled it down and started pulling some of my guy stuff off the walls in the room. So It's not complete. It's a work in progress. I was trying to bring everything in here, but yeah, just don't have room for it all. But yeah. Drop a shot of root beer schnapps in a short glass of beer and drink. Dad had me drinking the V8 in a Coors. It's not bad. And they got a Clamato now. You can buy it in something similar in a can. Clamato and beer or something, I don't know. But if you make it your own and it's like fresh Coors out of a tap with a V8, it's so much better. And it's pretty good when you're hungover. That's one thing, I'm sorry. That's one exception to my mixed drink rule is I will drink a Bloody Mary the morning after I have tied one on. Or I will drink a Bloody Mary when I'm out on a motor, whatever. You know, if I find a place that has a good one, has a lot of crap on it, in it, I'll drink that. I like them, you know. Those are good, Michelle. Sounds like Pete and I need to go to Total Wine soon. Well, everyone, I could keep talking tonight. I guess I'm talkative. I could keep talking on about 3 or 4 of these subjects, and I've drove some people away already. So I'm gonna stop this now. Thank y'all for joining me, and I really appreciate y'all supporting me, especially being, I haven't put a lot of videos out, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the core group of the people that take care of me, and I appreciate that. Law, drug, and firehouse liquor billboards, firehouse signs every mile. Yeah, that one's starting to pop up. Y'all have a great night. Have a great week, and be blessed. And if you find someone, this is the season of giving. If you find someone in need, I mean, we should be doing it all the time. But if you find someone in need, help them out. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's not people being lazy while they're in a bad situation. They just can't get, things right. Things aren't going right for them. Sometimes it's because we make bad decisions. A lot of times it's just the circumstances they're in. Help them out if you can. This is the season to do it. If you don't do it any other time of the year. Y'all take care. Have a great week. Thank y'all.